Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the season premiere of What If. Now in this episode it was called What If Nebula Joined the Nova Corps. So even though it was called that, it was a little bit weird because what really happened was what would happen if Ronan took over and killed Thanos was really what the whole plot of the episode was about. And in that struggle, Nebula was left into the ruins of space, where she was found by Nova Prime, where she was given an opportunity to become better than what she was before. And she joined the Nova Corps, um, rose through the ranks in there, ready to defend all of Xandar. But something happened. Well, Ronan, now having the power of what Thanos really wanted, was getting ready to go to Xandar to destroy it. But luckily, the Nova Corps decided to create a shield around the entire planet and stop them, specifically Ronan, from ever being able to penetrate and get inside, Xandar. But things happened in the middle of that. What happened later was 5 years into it, right? Now, granted, the shield was supposed to last at least 50 years. After 5 years in, apparently Xandar went from being a great luxurious place to live, turned to be one of the most dangerous places to be a part of. Mostly because people were getting cooped up inside, and it was causing a huge problem. So the Nova Corps was hunting around looking for basically any criminal whatsoever. And what they found was Yandu dead, blasted right through the back. Now, Nebula was on the scene trying to figure out what was going on, and that's when the rest of the Nova Corps comes in and basically states that Yandu deserved to die. There was no reason in wasting your time with them. It was a waste of all of it. And Nebula didn't agree, but whatever. They took off, and that's when Nebula stayed behind to kind of figure out what was going on. Well, they took his body and everything else. That's when she started to use a hologram of Yandu to see what was going on. Well, because of that, she had a recording of him whistling. And that was enough. Excuse me. That was enough to be able to find his arrow, which was sent back to him, which also gave her schematics to something she's never seen before. So she went to the only place that she knew where to go. But before that, let's talk. She was on her way to go to see an old friend of hers when Nova Prime comes onto the server and asked for Nebula to go on a secure line. She does so, and Nova Prime basically tells Nebula that she is to find out what's going on, and basically what's going on is Nova Prime explains that there's some sort of riot going on, and that somebody wants to take down the shields so Ronan can come in. And Nebula was tasked to stop that from happening. Nebula agreed to it, but one of the things that really was interesting was Nova Prime telling Nebula to use any force necessary to do what needed to be done. So, Nebula being Nebula, she goes to see Howard the Duck first to find out what it was she was actually going to that she found really. So the schematics is what she was trying to figure out what they were for, and she goes to see Howard the Duck, who apparently runs a very elaborate casino on Xandar that has um, the guy with the blades from Ragnarok, Korg, and Groot working there. And it's hilarious because they're called rock, paper, scissors. Rock being Korg, paper being Groot, and scissors being the guy with the blades. So I just find that funny. Um, anyway, she sees Howard and shows him the schematics. Sorry. And in the schematics, he has no idea what it is. He knows that it's something valuable and it's something powerful, but that's all he knows. When Korg comes up to deliver drinks, he actually knows exactly what it is. He knows that it's a power core system that the Nova cores have used, and potentially it has the ability to have the codes to shut down the shield that is around the entire planet. So Nova gets concerned and goes and tries to figure out the only person that could hack into a Nova Core um, facility. Well, the only person she could find was the guy from um, Captain Marvel, voiced by the same actor who played him, which was Jude Law. She breaks him out of prison. It's a huge fight scene and everything else. They escape, and they go into trying to find where the shield generator is to stop it from happening. So they have to do a bunch of different things. He's able to figure out how to get in there. The two of them get in, and then it looks like while she's hacked into it to shut off the shield, he actually um, he actually tricked her to begin with, and set up the codes to mess with her brain, which then caused her to, oh, how do I want to phrase this? Basically malfunction. And what then happened was the code was downloaded from her skull into a flash drive, and he went off. She then went to escape and deal with everything else, and that's when she gets to one location on the planet where she then finds out that Nova Prime was in charge of the whole thing and masterminded it all because, and I quote, she wanted to uh, make sure that when Ronan took over, that she would still be in charge and she would have her place as leader of Nova Corps, even though they were going to be part of the Kree Empire. And she used Nebula because she was just a piece of machinery and nothing more. She ordered the Nova Corps to take her out, scrap her for parts, and eliminate her. So they start electrocuting her and everything else. Nova Prime and the other guy leave. She then jumps off this area, um, which leads to what I would assume is just an empty area, but it was a large drop. Now, the Nova Corps officers basically stated that there was no way anybody could survive that, and they assumed she was dead. At the bottom, she was alive, barely, but alive. And she starts going to the only place that she basically knew where to go, and that was to see Howard the Duck. And that's when Howard, Groot, Korg, and the Blade guy, it buzzed the heck out of me. I can't remember his name, but not the point. She basically tells them what's going on and what needs to be done. So they patch her up and everything else. And she's like, okay, I'm going to need all your guns, Howard. We need to take care of this. And Howard's like, we're not doing this at all. Like, I'm a respectable businessman. And even with Ronan on here, I will still be a respectable businessman. And Nebula goes, you realize that, like, once he takes it over, you won't be allowed to have your liquor license anymore. He goes, you know what? Guns are perfect. And so Groot, Korg, Blade Guy, Howard the Duck, and Nebula all suit up. Now, Nebula adds the little fin on her head, which then allows her to control the um, the arrow that she took from Yondu, and that's when things get crazy. So they get to the location where they were going to shut off the shield, and they start to do so. So inside we have the one, two, three, four, five of them taking out all of these Nova Corps officers because they're all in line with um, Nova Prime. And they break in, and Nova Prime had already put the code in that opened up the shield. So the shield onto the planet opened up. Ronan and his ship came in, and then it started to close again and destroyed Ronan's ship. Apparently, um, Nebula knew what was going on for the most part, and that's when Amazon Prime, oh my gosh, not a sponsor, Nova Prime said, how did you know? And she goes, the moment you told me to do whatever it takes, I knew you were in on it the whole time. And she goes, it didn't make it hurt any less, but it at least knew what was coming. So she changed the code, which allowed the illusion that the shield was going to open up completely, where Ronan was going to start to come in and then destroy it soon after. That's when the whole heck broke loose, where the fight continued, and Nebula caught up to Nova Prime, where they fought, and Nova Prime went to kill Nebula, but in turn, When she shot, she lost her grip on the ledge and she fell to her death. So, in the end of this episode, the planet opens back up to the rest of the universe, and things were starting to look better. And it looked like Nebula was now in charge of the Nova Corps, becoming the new Nova Prime. Now, her being Nova Prime was not a guarantee, and it was just alluded to, but that's where I'm going with on that. That was the first episode of What If, so I'm very curious to see where it goes. Obviously, we know from season one that eventually these episodes will be combined together into one storyline. It'll be interesting to see. But for right now, we know very little, but we did have a nice beginning story to the 9 episode story arc. So there's going to be one episode coming out every night, actually every day, up until December 30th. So I will be doing a reaction video to all of those in the days to come. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe down below. This is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.